Oh, I do apologize. Am I disturbing you?
No, please. Do come in, Mrs.
My name is Miss Alice de Bouvier. I'm Mr. Holmes' new neighbor.
Oh, I didn't have the pleasure to... I am Dr. John Watson. Could we provide you with any assistance?
She is not the concern, Watson.
I'm... Then, what is this about?
That child standing sniffling behind her. Get rid of him, Watson.
But he is shivering with cold. And he is upset. What happened to him?
Little Tom knocked at the wrong door.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh boy, come in. Warm yourself by the fire. Can I offer you a cup of tea, Miss de Bouvier?
Well,
It is not as though we are disturbing you-know-who. Are we?
I suppose not.
Since you are our new neighbor, it is perhaps better that you know what he's like.
You're starting to worry me.
Well, Mr. Holmes is relapsing. This illness that he has seizes him when he finds himself with nothing to do. He becomes completely asocial. And alas, this is a very difficult, medically incurable case. Now, this must stay between us.
Of course, I understand. How very sad.
But there is a cure, if only a temporary one. A thrilling inquiry. Most certainly. If he refuses this one, then his condition will worsen.
Oh, I am still here, you know. I didn't fall out of the window. Very well, then.
Thank you, miss.
Now tell me, boy, what brings you here?
It's my father, sir. He's missing. I don't know what to do.
What's his name?
George Hurst, sir.
And when was the last time you saw him?
3 weeks ago. He left for a new job, but this time he was acting a bit strange and angry.
Missing, eh? And what do the police say?
The police, they don't believe me. They say he's just abandoned me, but that's a lie.
Obviously. Your clothes are well mended and you can read. Your parents may be poor, but you are loved.
Yeah, well, it's just the two of us now. My mother died when I was a little one.
And that's just one more reason for not leaving you. Your father doesn't seem the irresponsible type. He's very good to you.
Well, that's right. But he has no fixed work, so he often takes odd jobs for the day, because that's all he can find. Only this time, he didn't come home.
3 weeks? That's a long time.
Well, every day I thought he would show up. And anyway, I can look after myself. What do you mean, sir?
Nothing. I was digressing. Strange. In what way?
He said to me, "Son, I'm out on a special job. Don't you dare move from here." I think something went wrong.
Very well. Your address, please, Tom.
12 Dorset Street, the first floor, door E. It's in Whitechapel, sir. But I ain't got no money to pay.
Who asked for money, Tom? Your case seems to be the very medicine I need. I'll meet you there shortly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. A map of London and its surroundings. Could be useful.
We need to help Tom find his father, Holmes.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire. My analysis table. It's useful for my work. These streets are too narrow for the cab. I'll have to walk. North Street.
Sorry, I'm working. I can't open the door.
가면 다 밑으로.
Tis our home, Mr. Holmes.
이 무기들인데 안 열어?
So that's why you came to see me. Tom probably reads at night.
The roof leaks all the time. Father used to fix it.
Old clothes, soiled and worn. George Hurst's work was varied. He was evidently a hard-working and valuable hand. Hurst covered...
My mother, sir. She died when I was very young. My father...
I'm sorry, Tom. My mother left me when I... A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George Hurst was providing his...
Father bought all those books for me.
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks since George Hurst's disappearance. Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup. A clever concoction for somebody with apparently no culinary skills. Huh. Tom probably reads at night. Tom probably reads at night.
Please, sir, find my father.
Old clothes, soiled and worn. The old Tabard pub, North Street. Glue. Probably taken from a wall. It's too dark. I can't see anything. Just some old things. A leather satchel, what's in it? The old Tabard pub? Did you hear anything about it from your father, Tom?
My father's a regular, but he's not a drinker, sir. It's close by on North Street. Please, sir, find my father.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it. But if you've got any proper work for me...
I just might be in need of your assistance later. Wait here.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
I couldn't pay the rent last week.
Pumpkin! Cabbage! Cheap!
New Street. Commercial Street. Commercial Street. Commercial Street.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken...
Old Montague Street.
Oh, first of all.
어디가 멋있어?
Oh, first of all.
I'm praying it doesn't get cold again. I've no money for coal.
Alas, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs. Can't even remember what pork tastes like.
Pumpkin! Cabbage! Cheap!
I couldn't pay my rent last week.
Whitechapel never changes.
Whitechapel High Street.
Dirt and beggars everywhere.
North Street. There's nobody at home. I need to Earwig to find out who is offering this special job.
Arm in arm, stronger together, stronger than ever.
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers.
Equality for the working class.
I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself. Or to Watson. There's no one to eavesdrop on from here.
Dump the bosses off your backs.
No. That fellow who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
So, the man I'm looking for has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
The longer the picket line, the shorter the strike.
It's not him.
Arm in arm, stronger together, stronger than ever.
This must be the man that I'm looking for. Interesting. Missing person. I should find out more.
Dump the bosses off your backs.
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
거기 있거든.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
I don't want to go with this bugger everywhere. I don't take a photo.
I couldn't pay my rent last week.
Pumpkin, cabbage, cheek.
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs. I can't even remember what...
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
Take a brush and get in there.
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
Stupid kid.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous.
What are you waiting for? Stop crying and get to work.
Please, you don't have to beat him. I'll do it. I'll clean the chimney.
Go on then.
He's still here, that's a relief.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
No place to hide here. I'd better go through the yard.
Oi, what are you doing in my garden?
That crawling rat.
I know that boy. He's Shoe Shine Jim from Chambers Street. He's... Hey, Jim. Can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
It's dirty. I should use a damp cloth. Now this shoe needs some polish. This could be useful with a small brush.
Did you fall asleep?
He's ready for brushing.
Here's your reward, you little toad.
Thank you, sir. He's talking with a cabbie. We need to get closer.
Alas, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
I'm praying it doesn't get cold again. I've no money for coal.
I can't lose him now. Interesting. What's going on in the yard? Locked. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. It's too dangerous to enter. I can't see what's inside. It's too dangerous to enter. Ah, a coat of arms. It might help Mr. Holmes. I'll make a drawing of it. Wow, a lot of expensive stuff. It's too dangerous to enter. I can't leave yet. I'm not finished here. Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me. Bags of food. I like this house. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught.
Wigan's tale was quite unusual. What do you make of what he found, Holmes?
Wiggins did a good job. That's not the one I need. 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 That's not the one. That's not the one I need. 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 That's not the one. That's not the one I. That's not the. That's not the. That's not the one I need. Here it is. So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord who hangs around in a public house. Let's pay a visit to Lord Marsh. We'll pretend that we're interested in his charitable activities.
Mr. Holmes, you have a visitor.
Oh, just ask him to wait.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did you guess?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
Only if our lives are in danger.
All right, then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
It's wonderful to have Kate home.
Go, Mr. Holmes. I'll take care of everything.
Holmes, about Caitlin.
Yes?
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
Come in, please. Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to my home. How may I help you?
Good day to you, Lord Marsh. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London?
Yes. It is a war that we must fight, on our streets and now too from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
Forgive me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you, but I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care that he requires.
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't fuss. It's only influenza. I'll be better in a few days. I can feel it already.
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me, Doctor. Oddly, I'm associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord Marsh. It offers the less fortunate a chance to help make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes? But also insight, and Lord Marsh has believed this since he was a child.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic. Is there something else?
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all these poor people.
I'm intrigued by this.
Lord Marsh, hunting with his friends.
Ah, my dear comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this godforsaken English malady, I'd be with those rapscallions right now.
All in due time, my lord.
Last year, 3 orphans were put through medical college. I've never heard of this man. John Strobridge. I've seen this name before. It was on a missing persons poster. Thanks to Lord Marsh and the special education program, a great many poor people will have a second chance in life. Can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their lives?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand. We'll most certainly send a donation towards your educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both, and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
A provision dealing with the paupers of Whitechapel.
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
I've never seen so many provisions for the poor, and certainly not in a lord's house. It appears that Lord Marsh spent a great deal of his money on aiding the poor. Bags full of food. Aid for the paupers of Lambeth Workhouse. Humanitarian aid for an orphanage. Aid for the paupers of Lambeth Workhouse. It's shut tight. Locked.
Mr. Holmes, do you have any news about my father?
Tom, not so fast. I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh yeah, I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful. A ramrod to clean a rifle. Wolfjack. Looks like a military badge. This oil can also be used on weapons. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle. This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm. Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. Well, at least I don't think so.
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle.
Here it is. Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep. Watson?
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health. I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health.
Search, Toby, search. It's only a garden shed. Let's go on. What's in there? Just some old things. It's not here. Old things. Just rubbish. Tom's photograph. Let's try to get inside. There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick. This case must have been full of cartridges. News clippings on Lords and the education program. Why are they here? Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found earlier. This is the list of selected participants for October's special education program. According to this poster, John Strobridge is missing. Let's compare them with people from Hearst documents. This man appears in both documents. All the people in Marsh's document are marked and dated in George Hearst's files. A map of Epping Forest. Nothing that could interest me. People use this cellar for storage. Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
I hope you'll find my father soon.
Well, well. Sweet slumber after a hard-working day. On my pillow. Well, well. Sweet slumber after a hard-working day. On my pillow. Kate wouldn't like it if I entered her room without her knowledge. My analysis table. It's useful for my work. There was something on the stand. There was a rifle here. George Hurst took it with him. Pile of rubbish.
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom.
This is not the best way to sneak in.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Oh, you're so clumsy. Can you please not—
I have to visit Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
Fisher, please, allow Dr. Watson to enter.
Good job, Watson. Lord Marsh is a keen hunter. I can hide here. Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you allow me to examine you? A second opinion, so that the great Lord Marsh does not become the late Lord Marsh.
Well, since you put it that way, very well.
Shall I retire to your office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here?
야, 저기 숨을 수 있겠다면서.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
November 7th. This means that the meeting is planned for today.
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to check one thing about Lord Marsh. My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's study it more closely. Sputum with tiny drops of blood. I could take a sample and examine it under the microscope. Let us apply chemicals to color the sample. This chemical should be applied third. This chemical should be applied second. Now, let's examine the colored sample under the microscope. A mycobacterium. It appears that Lord Marsh is seriously ill. Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes, it's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well.
This is so romantic.
Here it is. Cranston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map. Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map. Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Caitlin, you know that Wiggins hasn't had the most fortunate life.
That only makes him more interesting.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
Let's see how long you can stay alive! Here you are! You scampering little rat! You scampering little rat! Is that your blood in the snow? Where is he?
This man was killed recently. The body is still warm.
He was poor.
Find him, boys! Find him! I saw something. Where is he? I like to call this the Swamp of Despair! Here you are! You scampering little rat! You won't get far! Don't worry, no one's going to find your body. Don't worry, no one's going to find your body. Oh, did that hurt? Don't worry, no one's going to find your body. You don't stand a chance! I'm following your tracks! Where have you gone? You won't get far!
God, it's Lord Harrington's body. He was killed by a shot to the forehead. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound. I can hide here. The Quartermain Club. This must be Lord Marsh's cabin. This will help to dress my wound. Someone's coming, I better hide.
Breathe, Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovat Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging, you festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George, listen to me. If you're seeking an apt punishment and vengeance, killing Marsh will give him exactly what he wants. He would die knowing that he had fulfilled his life through his absolute control of it. But if you allow Marsh to live, he will suffer a far greater punishment. For his ball and chain will be the debilitating tuberculosis. Look, it's already dragging him painfully and slowly to his death. Then his wealth can and will be used to support the families affected by the Quartermain Club's malevolence.
You're mad! You're both mad!
Let's go and find Tom.
Not just yet. See, Lord Marsh, you will die here, although not by the gun. You'll die slowly.
Don't do this, George.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. The beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice.
Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
Mr. Hurst, you've already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
Detective, take a look here.
This. Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
I understand your view, Mr. Hurst. I really do, but I couldn't allow you to continue.
done, Watson.
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no. Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible. And where are we going, Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's bowling club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave.
Holmes, are you really sure you want to wear that?
This? Everyone dresses like this at the club.
That should be a sight worth seeing. I only hope our charming neighbor won't spot you like that. Shouldn't we hurry to the bowling club?
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes, you played very well yesterday. I'm obliged to you, Sir Charles. I play many outdoor sports. That's the key to my success. My friend Dr. Watson has decided to join me.
Really? Mr. Holmes, would you like to see the first prize? A rare stone Mayan Quiche calendar.
Mayan Quiche?
Indeed. Their legendary king, Tekun Uman, has his statue just behind you. Although this one is a cast metal copy.
That? Oh.
Well, since only members may enter the clubhouse, we have exhibited the calendar outside. Please, explore.
Good luck, Holmes.
I'd like to win the Mayan calendar. It's a beautiful work of art.
This'll keep Watson happy.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad you are my opponent for the final. People call me Arthur the Invincible. So I wish you good luck. Mr. Holmes, Mr. Holmes.
I still...
Good luck, Holmes.
I lost to the quarterfinals, but the green was worth.
The first prize, the Mayan Quiche calendar. What a spectacular season. This statue is made of metal. The statue of Takunu Man. So, yes.
집은 가운데 맞춘 전투 기준 빛. 힘들면 가까운 데는 있는 걸로 잡을래?
It was an excellent game, Mr. Holmes, but Arthur always wins. The award ceremony for the first 3 places will be tomorrow morning.
Unfortunately, I'll be unable to attend tomorrow. Duty calls.
Ah, but at least you know the club now.
Let's go home. Let's go home.
Oh, Daddy!
Hello, Mr. Bouvier.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Caitlin?
Your costume!
Oh, don't you like it?
Oh, I do!
Caitlin, come on. Show some respect for your father.
You know, Father, Miss Alice was telling me all about her travels. She has already toured the world with her own father.
Your daughter is exquisite.
And just to think that she was aboard the Orient Express when it was attacked. What a dream.
Indeed.
She's so creative and imaginative. And that reminds me, would you allow Caitlin to visit me so that she can practice playing the piano?
It's very kind of you, but I decided that Caitlin should stop playing the piano.
Oh, Father, why did you say that?
Caitlin, we are neighbours. We'll meet again. Until then, I shall leave you with this book.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
statue did it. It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Phew. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I am a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector. What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
The statue of Tikkun Uman. The iron mounting rod is broken. The surface is damaged. Traces of metal on stone. Traces of metal on stone. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal. Pieces from the pedestal. A piece of the statue's mounting rod. This spear came from the statue on the pedestal. Dry leaves. They make a noise. Zacharias probably walked across them. The case is scratched and dented. Tissot watch, Swiss, 1855. This watch is valuable and old. It's been through a great deal. Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings represent the Mayan symbols. Money was left inside the wallet. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed.
At your service, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
If I believed Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder. Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tikkun Uman running away.
You saw the statue running?
It was dark, but yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see, the pedestal is now empty.
Did you know the victim?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke. He is... was a club member, and an excellent bowler.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh, I don't know.
Sir Charles, where did the Mayan calendar come from?
It was donated anonymously. We received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking that it be awarded to the winner.
Is the calendar valuable?
Not really. It has historical value, of course, but to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it isn't worth very much.
May I go in the clubhouse?
It's members only. I cannot authorize anyone unless that person has a written warrant from the police.
Scratches on the stone. A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. And what about the statue?
No idea yet. I imagine a thief must have taken it somehow.
Right, so they were thieves, and they were very well equipped?
Yes, must have been. Then there's also Sir Charles's version, but...
Please, go on.
He said this morning that he was alone at his desk when he heard a shout. He went outside and saw Greystoke lying on the ground, and... believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green that night but the statue itself running away.
You mean that the statue might have killed the victim? Interesting.
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like your version, then. Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside.
It wasn't like that. It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tukunuman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.